Hello and welcome everyone to this impromptu RSL stream. We are in the tiebreaker of, I think it's Group K, and we're going to see Saieden versus A-Bug on New Sylphet. This is going to be a ZVZ, so we're going to see what both players have in their sleeves for us. And I do hope the connection won't be too bad for everyone involved. So, A-Bug is going to win the Overlord lottery, so he's going to scout Saieden soon, which is a really big thing in ZVZ, to see what your opponent is doing and whether he's building drones or units or etc. and when his units come up. And this is, I think, an Overlord, so we're going to see, and this too, so no 9-poo builds from either of those players. Also no 10 hatch, so oh, there's a gas. This is over gas then, so we're getting over gas from Saieden, which means that he's going to have a really strong meter timing. And this is an overpool, so overpool is over gas. I'm not exactly sure how this plays out. Overgas will have slightly faster links. And I wonder how the drone count will be. Oh, what is this drone? Is this a drone scout? Oh, drone scout in ZVZ. This is something you should usually not do. You don't want a drone scout, because every drone is so big in ZVZ, but he will see the Overlord, so by the direction the Overlord is flying, he could deduce that Saieden is at the 8 o'clock position, but he's not watching, unfortunately. Saieden, however, did watch and is sending his Overlord to the top now. Zergling's coming out, and we're going to see a hatchery, so overpool and then hatchery at 13. Meanwhile, Saieden is already going up to lair, so A-Bug will definitely need to go into a Evo chamber. Four Zerglings moving out, the drone is coming back. Saieden is going to see the 4 Zerglings coming out, but he got 4 Zerglings in response, and he's getting a creep colony. Just in case the opponent did go for a 2 hatchery build, which A-Bug did. And how many drones do we have for each player? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, Saieden droning up even more. But yeah, A-Bug not really aggressive right now, so and not building anything either. Might be saving up for the Spire. Is now sending out his 6 Zerglings. And Saieden is getting a second hatchery and a Spire. And I forget to deactivate cartoons again, sorry. I will disable it after the game. And we got 10 Zerglings for A-Bug, who can't really do much. Between 4 Zerglings and Sunken, like, maybe he'd get a drone, but if Saieden drone drills a bit, then this should be relatively easy to deflect. A-Bug is going around, is trying to poke out at the side that is not at the sunken, but is losing a few links. But he is getting into the mineral line. It is forcing Saieden to pull all of his drones. Wow. This is going a lot worse than I thought for Saieden. Did lose... I think I see 2 dead drones. So 2 dead drones and a pull. Might be honestly just what ABAC needed. Yeah, he got a big supply lead now, and he did drone behind this. So he's really in a very good position. Is getting an Evo chamber. Which I'm not exactly sure if he needs this. His spire will be up only slightly later than Saiden's. And you don't want to build spore colonies if you don't need to. But he's in a very good... ABAC is in a very good position. If he grabs his gas at some point, then Saieden will have a very hard time. Saieden God's Niedersaat is deciding to hunt the Overlord, which will give ABAC more time to gather some Mutalisks of his own. Can hunt Saiden's Overlord here. Could hunt Saiden's Overlord that is here. Got supply blocked. Needs an Overlord somewhere. Oh, that's a big supply block. Is only starting his Overlords now. And Saieden is coming across with 4 Scourges and 4 Mutalisks. Again, the 5 Mutalisks of ABAC, so... Oh no, did aim the Overlord. Is morphing in the Spore Colony. But... Oh, nice! Really nice walking shots by Saieden. And the Scourge did get a big connection. But... These are... Oh. Oh, I don't think he needed to go back there. He could have killed the Spore Colony and then camped over the hatch. He's now flying into the healthy Spore Colony. And it's giving ABAC time to catch up in the muta count again. But ABAC also now had to pull all of his drones to his natural, is now pulling them back. This is time they're not mining. And Saieden does technically have enough mutas to one-shot a drone, I think, so... He could just poke at the mineral line if he feels confident. Also brought a few Zerglings to the front, which could destroy the Spore Colony. But it seemed that both players are happy to macro up a bit. And now Saieden is going in again at the main base and is now destroying the Spore Colony. But this time ABAC got Mutalisks of his own and got Scourges. And this forces Saieden to pull back. Oh! Scourge connecting. And now Saieden is in a pretty dire position. Got 1 more Mutalisk in his main base, but... This is 4 Mutalisks against 6. 7 if he pulls this one too. And... Oh! Mutalisk killing the Zerglings of Saieden now, which is also very unfortunate. You generally don't want to lose the Zerglings like that. Saieden now deciding to go for the counterattack, but ABAC got Zerglings ready. And together with his Mutalisks, he's able to defeat this threat. Saieden now moving out again with 5 Mutalisks, but 5 Mutalisks against 10. 6 Mutalisks if he pulled this one, and shot lag. Saieden now putting his natural hatchery down. But this might be just a bit too late. Big muta encounter and Saieden leaves. So the first game goes to ABAC. And if I did understand the rules correctly, that means that if Saieden loses the next game, he is out. And I do wonder, will we get the... Will we get the next game now, or... And there's Arcade Plus. So the next game should come up very soon. I think Arcade Plus is a Terran play, if I'm not mistaken, so we're going to have a ZVT next, which is going to be very interesting. Oh, we're even going to see the map ban process, so I do wonder what maps will get banned and which maps we're going to see in the end. Well, somebody doesn't care about maps, clearly. And has only played Circuit Breaker. And Saiden's okay with this, so we're going to see Circuit Breaker next. Which is a pretty cool map. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure in how far Circuit Breaker plays out in ZVT. I know that in PvZ it's a map that is a bit better for the Zerg because they can usually take a third, but I don't know. Arcade Plus might be a Protoss for all I know. I just think I've seen him as a Terran. Oh, and I should. Adjust my overlay real quick. And we're going to go into Circuit Breakers. And it is CVT, so I was right about Arcade Plus's main race. And we're going to see what happens. So, in the 5 o'clock position, in the color bluish-gray, playing as Terran, we got Arcade Plus. And at the 7 o'clock position, in the color red, playing as Zerg, we got Saieden. And since this is a ZVT, the standard opening would be 1 Rex Expand versus 12 Hatchery. But we're going to see, maybe some of these players has something special prepared for the occasion. And yes, Circuit Breaker has a pretty big map, so setting up a base here as Zerg and forcing the Terran to run across the whole map with his Marines can be kind of tough to deal with as a Terran, but on the other hand, the middle of the map, sorry. My god. I'm really sorry, my voice is kind of doing something. Okay, here I am. I'm very sorry, my voice broke for some reason. I needed to drink something. So, it is a 12 head from Saieden. Spawning pool, it is going to be a 3H build because there's no extractor yet. Meanwhile, Arcade Plus going for the singular barracks, so... Yeah, this is probably going to be 1 Rex expand, I think. Scout scouting around, both players scouting the other one at the last location. So, bad luck in scouting for both, but it balances out. Saieden placing his 3rd hatchery. Should get his gas soon, yeah, death drone for the gas. Arcade Plus building a bunker. And probably a CC afterwards, so this is very safe. Usually Terrans tend to build a CC and then you force a bunker by building 6 links. But Arcade Plus just going for the safe variation because he hasn't scouted Saieden yet, I assume, and is scared of Zerglings, which is very understandable. Saieden got his Overlord in position, did see the bunker, but didn't see the gas, so this is a refinery, so this will be a mech build. And we're going to see a factory. No, an engineering bay. So this is going to be bio after all, but with an early extractor. I don't know, I always thought that... Oh no, of course, I'm dumb. The command center came for the gas, so this is bio. I'm just stupid. SCV will maybe escape. Maybe. Scouting Zergling gets pushed back by the Marines. Saieden is up to layer. We're going to see if he decides to go either for the spy at the Hydralisk Den, although I would imagine the time for the Hydralisk Den is already past, so we're going to the 3H Mutalisk. Meanwhile, Academy coming up, so we're going to see a 2nd barrack soon, I think. And there's a spire for Saieden. So we're going to see about 11 Mutalisks out and then the transition into the late mid-game. Or maybe he's going lurkerless into Hive, we're going to see. And a factory's coming up now. A factory. Okay, I'm a bit confused now because I'm totally don't know what, and now back. So this might be some kind of siege tank push, which is supposed to break the Zerg natural. A very strong siege tank push, but that means we're going to have less Marines on the map, I think, and if Saieden micros his mutas decently, he might be able to just clean this up. He's also getting more Zerglings into position, so there's also the threat of a backstab, and he... Oh! Unfortunately didn't get the SCV because the SCV did path to the back in the last second. And we did also hear the first scan, which I'd assume did see the Mutalisk, and we're getting the starport already. So no siege tank push. And Mutalisk coming out for Saieden, Hydralisk then got placed. So he probably went with the very standard 11 mutas, and then Hydra then will then get into lurk attack. Is sending his drone for the third. Science facility already coming up, so this is going to be a very strong push when it comes out with the science vessel. But until then, he's going to yield the map, I think. Mutalisks coming in are going to see what's up. However, do have an unfortunate encounter with the Marines. Does delay the science facility though, which is pretty big. Nice meter micro on the turret. And he could pick up... Oh! Never stand still with your mutas. Nice. Oh, loses one more muta. Oh, did whiff this shot. And... yeah, I think he should... I don't think he should force the issue now. Oh, he can pick up the medics here, which would be pretty big. But does react a bit too late. Spawning second creep colony. Queen's Nest coming up. Third base nearly finished. Hydra is moving up, so the map will be secure with the lurkers. However, science vessel already on the way, and irradiate getting tagged. So yeah, the push will be coming soon, I'd assume. And Mutalisks get a shot on the Marine, but don't kill him. One Marine moving out a bit too far, which could be an easy pickup if Saieden sees it. Hydra is moving very aggressively. Oh, moving into the Marine. And Mutalisk picking up the Marine. So Arcade Plus should know that Saiden's going to more of the lurkers in front of his base. Oh, science vessel. Does have enough energy for an irradiate. And does irradiate the lurker. And Saieden just cancels the lurker then. Marines stay getting built. We're getting a second science vessel on the way. Something's getting upgraded in the machine shop. I think it's siege mode. Hive is on the way. 2 evo chambers and a hatchery. So we're going probably to see a defiler mount very soon. And there's the defiler mount. So Muta's moving for the Marines. It gets run but loses 2 Mutas. And this lurker should probably burrow or move back, because one lurker won't hold that many marines and medics. One lurker gets irradiated. And Saieden does decide to burrow in front of the Terran base. But this feels like a bit of a waste of the lurkers, because once the Terran moves out, the lurker will just die, and you don't want to lose singular lurkers that are somewhere on the map. Arcade Plus is having a lot of respect, though, for the lurker. He could just run into it and kill it, I think. Oh, Mutas! Attack moving on the science vessel. I think the science vessel poured them into the marine group, losing a few Mutas again. And Arcade Plus got a lot of stuff, but yeah, now he stims and decides to move out. So we're going to see a big push. Defiler mount is done. I'd wager that a Defiler is on the way. Nidus channel to the 11 o'clock base is there. So it will be easy for the Zerg player to transition troops between the bases. And 3 Defilers and 2 Sunkens. He really needs the swarm. I do want to, when we're finished. Pretty good backstep from Saieden though. Does get a siege tank, and Arcade Plus decides to move all of his troops back. Which I don't think is a good choice, because now Swarm will probably be finished and he won't be able to break the base. And Saieden is already positioning his lurkers in front of the naturals, so he's going to go up for 4 bases, and this means that we're going to see an Ultra Den pretty soon, probably. Science vessel irradiating, yeah, that's the Ultralisk cavern. It's a cavern, not a den. And the Marines just moving in, but there's the Dark Swarm. And now the Marines really should go back, because they can't do any damage. And what Arcade Plus now needs are dropships. There's no way that he'll ever break the position. Saieden picks up 1 science vessel. One of the Defiler. Oh no. Oh no, the siege tank is in range of the lurker and dies. Yeah, he can't break through this. Loses a bunch of Marines under the Dark Swarm. And is going to lose more Marines now, and Saieden sniping all the science vessels, and Arcade Plus losing a lot of his bioforce. But more importantly, losing science vessel when you're on a single starport is... that's big. That's really big. Yeah, siege tank firing on the lurker, but he's not doing any damage. Siege tanks don't damage units on a swarm. They only do their splash damage, but the point the siege tank is aiming at does not splash any units. Arcade Plus poking forward, but another swarm. And whoa, the science vessels. Should probably be a bit more careful with this, but now lurkers are out of the Dark Swarm. And the siege tanks, yeah, get 1 lurker, but that's it. Hydralisks moving out now. But are getting killed. And we're getting more Scourge, which are going for the science vessels, while the science vessels are moving forward. Loses 1 science vessel. Yeah, but this Saieden is buying lots of times, and he got a bunch of hatcheries now. Is lacking a bit in gas though. Defiler is getting irradiated. Oh, and there's only one drone on this gas. He really needs two more. Still got one Defiler with full energy though, but Lurkers are all dead now. And now the Marines are moving up, and if the Sankens die, there's really nothing that keeps him back. The Zerglings come from the back but don't do anything. Defiler is getting... Oh, he forgot about the full energy Defiler. That's unfortunate. And now suddenly it isn't looking that bad for Terran anymore if he's doing damage, but this is a nice Dark Swarm, and Zerglings moving out, but unfortunately we're not under the Dark Swarm. And I'd really like for Arcade Plus to just take his Marines and move into the mineral line of the Zerg now. More Zerglings coming out, and now it's under the Dark Swarm. And yeah, Saieden is able to save his natural. Scourge will get one more Science Vessel probably. And Arcade Plus didn't really macro during this, so... Yes, Saieden is very free to just... It's droning up here. It's building Zerglings. But what you really want is gas. However, big Zergling move out on this Terran expansion. And Command Center goes down. This is really big because Arcade Plus will mine out in a second at his main base. The other expansion point will also be denied. And Saieden is just running over the map with Defilers and Zerglings, so probably setting up to go for the Jugular, or however you pronounce it. Fire bats in response to the Dark Swarm is a clever idea. And there are not any Ultralists yet, I think, although Saieden is starting to get a little bit of gas. Needs more Overlords, however. Is supply blocked at 97, and I don't see any of his hatcheries now. Now we're seeing a big round of Overlords. And Arcade Plus does not piece a Zergling yet, because he is at the bottom of the ramp. Now he's moving up. And... oh, Dark Swarm. Nice move. Get the Defiler. So, no more Dark Swarms down here for the moment. And he is able to secure this mineral-only base. But his natural is mining out too, so it's basically one base economy against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 base Zerg player. So yeah, Arcade Plus needs one big push across the map with major damage now. But this will be tough because Ultralists coming out now. They got their armor upgrade. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So Saieden will just move into the third. while Arcade Plus is out. And... oh! Yeah, this tank. That's probably not what you want to see. Yeah, that's a GG. That's probably not what you want to see if you poke up a ramp as a siege tank. Like, imagine, like, you look up a cliff and then there's like a bunch of circling running away. And the Ultralisks. 6 Ultralisks. And I'm giving my voice a bit of a break, and I'll see you when the next game starts. So, here we are again. We're going to get another ZVT on circuit breakers. So, this is kind of unfortunate because that really limits what I can say without repeating myself. But yes, same map, same matchup. Standard way would be 12 hatch against 1 Rex expansion. Still a pretty big map, which allowed the Zerg to, if the Zerg player can go cross with his third base, the Terran really has to go long distances. But on the other hand, the middle of the map is really flat, so there's not a lot of points where you can poke in with your Mutalisks and the Marines. And here we go. In the 5 o'clock position, in the color magenta, playing a Zerg, we got A-Bug. And at the 11 o'clock position, in the color bluish-gray, we got Arcade playing as Terran. And yeah, A-Bug is scouting clockwise, which means that he will arrive at the natural at a reasonable time if he remembers to send his overlord up. Going up to 9 drones. We'll maybe build a pool. We're going to see. Supply to power 9, so nothing fancy. And we're not going to see a pool. This is an overlord. And we're going to see a Rex at 11, which is also pretty normal. A-Bug going up to 12 supply and should send a drone out to the natural. Not a perfect timing, is having nearly 400 minerals when he played the hatchery. I personally like to send it down when it's like at 200 minerals and I got my drones ready. Spawning pool coming up before the gas, so this is again... Oh no, this is 2 hatch. So we're actually going to see something different. Either 2H Muta or 2H Lurker would be the most standard things to go from here. 2H Muta, of course, the absolute gold standard. But you can also do Zergling shenanigans with this. RK Plus going for the early bunker for command center again, which is very safe. Is going to scout the 2H Muta, or at least the 2 hatchery build. And we're going to see how this goes. Oh, drone did die to the bunker. And RK Plus is placing his command center now, so this seems to be the same build as before. And A-Bug is now sending out a few Zerglings, which is good because you want to keep tabs on what the Terran is doing at his front. You want to see if yet Marine move out. in case it should happen. And this doesn't look like 2-edge lurker, so we're going to see 2-edge. Oh no, this is 2-edge lurker. So the question is, will Arcade Plus scout this in time? And if you scout this in time, the usual response should be to place a bunch of bunkers in front and win time until you got a siege tank, and then kill the lurkers with that. But if he doesn't see it and doesn't respond properly, then this is when 2-edge lurker becomes very dangerous. Academy is finished soon. So we'll see if we're going to see a concert. No concert station yet. Second barracks is coming up, this time before the factory. And we're getting another supply depot at the front. Patrolman from the Zerglings. And now we're getting the 2 combat stations, but the Heidelers are already on the way. And I'd hazard to guess that the luck upgrade is already also like halfway to 3/4 finished. Marines moving out to deal with the Zerglings, but does lose 1 Marine. Oh. Doesn't scout this. He's building a bunker, so he did scout. He did scan the... I didn't hear a scan though. Maybe he just knows? I don't know. Does build a bunker, got 1 missile turret. Needs probably a few more, you don't wanna... Yeah, there's another bunker and another bunker, he's reacting properly. Probably another missile turret right here. Factories coming up. And this is a textbook response from Arcade Plus. Lurkers boring. Will get 1 of the bunkers. And you really want another turret, yeah. There's another turret coming up. 2 more lurkers on the way. Factory is nearly finished. We'll probably get an add-on directly after. Oh, lurker range. Oh, can't finish the missile turrets. Oh, and does lose 2 Marines. Gets those out of range though. But he needs more stuff. He needs like another 2 missile turrets here and another bunker. Because this is getting... That's 5 lurkers now and add Zerglings. Okay, siege mode is coming up and siege tank is coming out. Starport is coming up and Arcade Plus is keeping up with the macro, but now the lurkers are moving out. Has to move back a bit. Zerglings... The bunker goes down and the Zerglings do get into the SCV line. And the lurkers are able to move up. He should really pull this SCVs back. He's doing now, but does lose a few SCVs. Should probably float the command center. Siege tank is out, and siege tanks do outrange the lurkers, even if they're not sieged. But A-Bug did use the time to get his hatchery up. But he's really committing into this now, even more Zerglings swarming across the map. And siege mode is up now, so Saieden will be able to slowly move out, especially because there's no lurkers on the way. Queens is coming up, so we're going into Hive Tech. And gets another of the lurkers. Command center is floating into the base. Maybe wants to build SCVs, I don't know. Got the science facility, so can go into starport and irradiate. Another hatchery coming up for a buck. Should get a 5 started, really. And Arcade Plus needs to, like, move his siege tank up a bit. Oh, Mutalisk. Okay, so we have a Mutus on the way. 5. Probably more. So if this mutant number is going to increase, a bug can't even move across the map properly. Yeah, and we're getting even more mutas. So we only have mutas. And a huge number of links, so there's not going to be some big move out coming in soon. Science are moving across the map. It does give vision on the lurkers. So the siege tank can resume his shooting again. Good reaction from a bug though, moves his lurks back. And now the Marines do move out again. And he's getting the 2 lurkers. Oh! That looks good irradiate. Nice splitzer from a bug. Yeah, loses a lot of meter though. And there's a misrally drone, that happens. But Hive is up. The file amount could come should come shortly. And should probably get a Nidus channel. Zerglings are moving back now, and this would be really unfortunate if he just transitions a bit too slowly. Oh, and there's a lot of overlords here. Arcade Plus should really like move out now. He can't afford to just sit in his base. You really have to pressure the Zerg as a Terran. Like, if you state your natural, this is exactly what the Zerg wants. Greater Spire. Oh. I do believe someone watched Strum Khan's lesson. Because this was, I think, on a stream recently. And we're going to see Hydra Guardians. Marines moving out now though, but does decide to go back again. More Zerglings coming across the map. The file amount is also coming up. And yeah, it's tough. Now it's tough for Arcade Plus to move out again because there's like... Okay, the lurkers are dead. And he did unsiege the siege tank. But yeah, Guardians are getting morphed. A few hided it there just to dissuade the Terran from just building Wraith or something and just killing everything. And this is looking really good for a bug now. This is looking really good. Scourges die before they can kill the Science, so we got a dropship, but it's scouted. However, the question is, did Arcade Plus... Oh, did A-Bug see this, or did he maybe overlook it? So a bug is just happy sitting up in front of the natural. But I would assume his guardians are going to shoot now. Dropship is dropping a group of marines and a medic. And a number of scourges moving across the map. And he's going to lose his drones here. But if a bug just like morphs all of this lava into zerglings, he should be able to save the space. Does decide to send them from his contain though. And now the guardians up are in position. The science vessels are moving forward, but there's a lot of scourge. Loses one science vessel, loses two science vessels, and loses three science vessels. All science vessels dead. Guardians over the natural. And this is looking at that GG. Yeah, so this is basically it. Saieden and A-Bug are going to advance. RK Plus unfortunately loses and will go to the consolation bracket thingy, I think. And I hope you all had fun watching this. And I'm really sorry that my voice broke after the first game. I don't really know what happened. And I hope I see you all in the next one. And I think some others are also going to stream RSL. I know Niplime really wants to get a stream going on Sunday, so tune into that. And yeah, have a nice evening. Goodbye.